No shit. Yeah, that would be by definition like more parsimonious. Okay, like just think about this. Like so, like if your DS view is common DS view, right? If it commits to supernatural entities and it commits to natural entities, then it's going to be the case that there's two sorts of entities on your theory, right? But and then the next reason why your theory is going to be less simple is like think about God being brute, right? I can just say like the initial state of the universe is brute, just like you're saying the initial state of God is brute, right? There's nothing prior to God.
Well, then you'd be
There's nothing. Wait, real quick. There's nothing prior to God that tells you why God is the case. So it seems like you're just adding an extra step, right? I'm just saying the first brute thing is the universe. You're saying the first brute thing is God who creates the universe. You're just like adding extra steps.
Wait. So now you're saying the first, because you never gave specification to like what this naturalistic brute thing was. So now you're saying the universe is brute, right? In the sense that it always existed, correct?
I mean, yeah. Under your definition, that'd be brute.
Wait, but that's not going to be. You're gonna have to. Yeah, you're not going to be able to say that because we already went over how space is contingent and the universe is just going to be space and time as we know it. Right, and the collection of all matter, right? So you can't go back after we literally...
I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, if you think it's an explanation to say, like, these sorts of things, like, God would be independent, for example, I can just, like, mimic that explanation. Do you know what, like, a sucking horse projection?
Yours has issues, mine doesn't.
Yeah, what's the issue?
Your issue is that for you to posit the universe as an explanation, it would have had to always exist, right? Which we already talked about how an infinite regress can exist, nor can a space without time exist, right? So...
Okay.
What are we talking about? So you're
that's kind of like a claim, right? Like you're saying X cannot be the case. That just sounds like modal talk, right? So I would just see like the contradiction with it. But in any case,
I never heard there was a contradiction. Like I don't have to invoke some possibility. I'm saying that we already wait, hold on.
Point that mine would be more parsimonious.
Wait, the whole argument that I laid out is that it's going to be more improbable, right? When the conditions for causality to come about aren't met and causality still existing regardless, right? So let's not hedge and go back on what we were trying to argue because we already went past that point, right? You didn't contend it further.
Okay. Look, I'm just saying that the explanation that you're invoking, I can just sort of like mimic all of it, right? And just like
you can't do it. You can't do it. All the things everything that you've tried to mimic either doesn't have equal explanatory power, as I pointed out, not factoring the fine tuning, and for two, right?
We already went over that, right?
Literally, hold on. I didn't question that. I did not question bag because you tried to lay out my position, and I said that's not what I said, and then I clearly laid it out, and then you went and shifted to a different point, talking about you can mimic what I said with the universe being eternal. That's when you give specification to what this naturalistic thing would be. Right.
So look, fine tuning. You brought that up. You said that specifically with fine tuning, it would be the case that. Sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought. That in virtue of fine tuning, I'm like I just fucking lost my train of thought.
Here, I'll help you bring in track. Right. So what I was saying, right, was that you can't mimic my response because for you to mimic my response, it would have to have equal explanatory power and equal simplicity, right? And it clearly doesn't have an explanatory power because it doesn't give as good of an explanation for why the fine tuning exists, right? And then that's when you shift it over to like, oh, the universe can be a natural explanation, and I can just mimic your response, which was sort of reaffirming the claim I denied. But regardless, I provided the defeat of that by saying that.
Okay, now I remember. All right, so you said that an intelligent designer implies like an intelligent creator, right? And then I just said, well, like, why should we think that, you know, intricate parts, like complex things that are made up of space matter, that kind of thing, why should we think that those imply an intelligent designer? And it seemed like you just kept on, like, repeating the claim that I was, like, asking for an argument for.
I didn't repeat anything. I didn't repeat any claim. Like, I already gave justification for this. That was actually one of the first things that we went over, so I don't know why you're going back to this.
Oh, because I thought you just, like, brought it up.
Well, yeah, because I'm bringing it up because your explanation for the universe doesn't factor in that clear implication, right? So it doesn't have equal explanatory power. That doesn't mean I'm bringing it up as in to justify it again. Look, we already went over.
Your argument is just like supposing that we should have this, or there is this fine tuning to begin with, right? And I'm just saying, like, why should we think that?
Yeah, we already went over this, and I already explained it. You already jumped ships, moved on to a different point, and I was like, okay, sure, correct. Like,
wait, so why should we suppose that there's this fine tuning?
That's just asking the same question for the third time. Like, we already went over this. Like, I gave justification for this, my friend.
You did? Like, what was the argument?
I mean, if you didn't hear, then I don't know. I want to tell you. Like, I'm not going to go through and circle back on all these points.
Yeah, I don't think we had an argument. I mean, Did anyone else hear his argument?
Okay, how about this?
How about we go through everyone in the VC right now and see if anyone else heard your argument? Hey Noah, did you hear his argument?
I don't think we have to appeal to people in VC that are quite.
Are you talking about his argument about I heard his argument.
Did you hear his argument?
Not towards the goal, no.
Right. Okay. Mr. Backen, did you hear his argument?
No, I was low-key smoking. I didn't hear that shit.
Uncle Ruckus, did you hear his argument?
About
the fine-tuning.
Monkeyboy, did you hear his argument?
No, but why are you arguing?
Monkeyboy wasn't here. Like, I clearly just joined. I just seen him in VC just joined. So, like I said,
10 or so minutes ago.
Yeah,
and also, but obviously, if I've been mentioning the fine-tuning the whole...
there's so much things you could have, objected to.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go for the funniest objection that I could possibly conjure up.
Come on, Turnz. Let's be real. Let's be real.
The funniest thing, stalking horse objections are just the most fun.
You're doing.
Look, if I was seriously, very seriously debating right now, I would just make him formalize the argument, and then I would go through it each and every turn systematically. Then I would, that's probably what would be happening.
Well, for one, I would just be I would be for one, I would have to formalize an argument to make an argument. Most people don't formalize all their arguments that they make.
And so I would just. Language. It doesn't really matter about formalization.
Yeah. So that's majority of people are gonna put it in natural language.
He didn't hear an argument presented by you.
Well, the whole time I've been bringing up the fact that fine-tuning is a factor, and then now he wants to ask me that I justified it. Did I justify it? No.
Look, all I remember is I asked you earlier on, why is
arguing that the universe?
Why should we think that in virtue of something being a low chance that it's fine-tuned? And you kind of just kept on restating what I was asking.
I wasn't saying that in virtue of it being low chance it's fine-tuned. I was saying the intricacy of the parts, right?
You really said that. Now you're actually being into
I didn't even say the words in virtue, my friend. I didn't say in virtue.
That it's unlikely to come about, right? Then that's why intelligent design.
Something I'm not understanding. I'm not clear if this MK dude presumably undertakes the view that God is a mind, right? And if that's just the case, it would just seem that he can just have infinitely many conceptual models of a universe he can decide to deliberate on the manifestation of. And if that's the case,
that's also what I brought up.
Unlikely. Yeah. In fact. First of all, if he's a mind, we understand that deliberation is going to be some inferential transition from motivations, right? So now you're going to need to appeal to some motivation, right? And now if you either say something like he has it innate or there is going to be some form of
Monkeyboy.
Yeah.
So basically, I just said does God have free will? And he kind of just said under this argument, I don't think so.
I didn't say. No, that's not what I said. I said that you can say he has free will or he doesn't. It doesn't matter. If you're posing some issues with free will, then sure, he doesn't have free will. But if there's no issues with free will, he can have free will or be determined. All I'm saying via the argument is that God is essentially just going to be the mind that created the universe.
Oh, well, that's just going to entail necessitarianism if God is not.
Yeah, I also brought that up.
I don't.
Yeah, but I could bite the bullet. I was talking about. I can bite the bullet real quick. I can bite the bullet on the argument. That doesn't undercut the validity of it.
Yeah, no one said that there's an issue with the form of the argument. So
yeah,
it undercuts the motivation for it. For instance, if you want to suppose necessitarianism to explain these things, I can also be a necessitarian. I could just mimic what you're doing if you think that's an explanation.
Yeah, but it's different. I already pointed out how that doesn't work.
Why not?
If you have, look, dude, I'm not trying to be a dick, right? But if you have amnesia, then I can't help you. I quite literally said.
Wait, just say it one more time or something.
But if you're just positing that God is non-agential, right? He doesn't have free will, and it's just going to be the case that the outcome of the consequence of this manifestation of this specific model of a universe is necessary. Then what the atheist can do is just eliminate that extra baggage of ontological economy and say that the universe is still necessary without the commitment of the ontological deity that you're proposing.
No, the universe, you can't, doesn't work because there are issues with saying that.
Because if you're going to say God's necessary and he doesn't have free will, then God is still going to be super fine-tuned himself.
Super fine-tuned in what way?
Well, he's going to be necessarily fine-tuned in the way.
Wait. Super. Well, you'd have to equivocate on the word fine-tuned because we wouldn't be talking about fine-tuning in the same instance, right?
Wait.
So my whole thing is that you're not going to be able to pause. You're not going to be able to pause a naturalistic explanation, right? Because it immediately presupposes an infinite regress.
Wait. First of all, I don't really see first how the theist hypothesis dissolves or disarms this infinite regress issue, but I don't even see how an infinite regress is an issue.
Well, the whole thing of an infinite regress, right, is that if you say that the universe was eternal, right, and then time always existed, now you have an infinite chain of events, all in causal relation to each other, and then now you have an infinite regress.
First of all, that
yes, it does.
No. It does.
Well,
unless.
What do you take the universe to be? Because what I take the universe to be is space and time and matter as we know it.
Just take space time,
if time is, so you understand space and time. Has time in it.
That's just gonna be like that's gonna just like entail a contradiction, right? If the idea is that there's gonna be a point in time in which time didn't exist, but there's gonna be a moment prior in which God exists, and then manifested time is just understood. It's just synonymous with change. And if there's a
you have to use tenseless verbs. That's not a contradiction. You have to use tenseless verbs, like when talking about prior to time.
I don't
right because when I say prior,
after, before. Future, past.
Wait, no, prior. Wait, no. Prior is not tenseless. Prior is before.
Yeah,
right, which implies temporality.
That's just gonna be like temporal nomenclature.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't know what it means to say that there's a moment before, and that's not talking about time. Like points in time in the past.
A moment before, yeah, because when you say there's a moment before, right, it presupposes a point, right, in time, right. So that's why you have to sort of use like tenseless verbs and shit.
But if you're just going to say God is outside time, then it's just going to be a fact that there's not going to be a point in which God exists prior to time, because he's outside time.
Well, not
that's
literally.
Just going to mean that there's not going to be a point in which the universe is created, right? There's no point in time in which the universe is created. Right? And
that's a problem. That's not to say that it can't literally be the case, but you pointing out via semantics is sort of a contradiction, right?
What's the contradiction?
Because there's a problem with language. Yeah, because the contradiction is your language in describing God creating time presupposes right a tense, right?
That's not a contradiction.
No,
wait, yes, it is.
Wait, real quick.
That's just a category error on your part.
Wait. I'm sick of being charitable to this person. Look, you're gonna concede that that's not a contradiction. I don't even know if it's a contradiction.
Wait. First off, you're being charitable to me. Wasn't I the person who was literally repeating my position to you a million times? Wasn't I the person who was repeating my position to you because you didn't follow? You didn't remember? You were not charitable to me, my friend.
It's just obvious. Everyone in here. They just didn't have a justification for it.
No one said it's obvious. I've been bringing up Feinstein the whole time. If you have dementia, then that's fine. I don't care.
How about you just tell us the contradiction that Monkeyboy committed himself to?
I'm just not.
The contradiction. Yeah. The contradiction is saying time and not time. That's the P and not P.
Wait, where did I say not time?
Yeah, not time was with the.
That's what we said earlier. That's not what you said earlier. How about you?
No. I was illustrating.
Wait. I said it's a contradiction. I just said it's a contradiction. That's what I said earlier.
Wait, but what? So you're claiming that I said there's time and no time?
Mikey, are you recording this?
Oh yeah, well I recorded when you said to record. Before that, no.
Okay, are you recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't look at it.
That's like obviously what he said. He's like backtracking.
I didn't give justification. You understand?
I'm really sick. I'm just so sick.
Wait. I just want to like. I don't want him to
understand.
I don't want to lose.
I'm just so sick of him backtracking.
Hold on, Turnz. Just ask me to give justification for why it's a contradiction. So what are you talking about? I didn't say that.
No. You didn't give the justification. You just purported the contradiction. You didn't derive it, right? So I'm not clear when at any point
I didn't derive. I just said what you did. I just claimed what you did. You said where's the contradiction?
Yeah, but you just said that you justified the contradiction.
It's not a contradiction, right?
Wait, no. I justified it. You just reported it. I did not. I said I pointed out the contradiction by saying time and not time.